Big Brother producers defend controversial hamster wheel competition twist, exclusive. Allison Grodner and Rich Meehan also discuss the possibility of including the twist in future seasons. For Big Brother executive producers Allison Grodner and Rich Meehan, it only made sense to move one of the franchise's most dramatic twists from the Christmas-themed spin-off series Big Brother Reindeer Games to the flagship show. Instead of staging a standard elimination competition involving a hamster wheel maze, Reindeer Games introduced a diabolical twist. The first player taking it on would be eliminated if they could not finish it in under 5 minutes and 30 seconds. However, if they completed it in time, the next person would have a minute less to do it. And each person after that would have 1 minute less than the person before, with the pattern continuing until someone was eliminated. The drama reached its apex when Brittany Haynes shockingly solved the maze in 3 minutes and 30 seconds and then chose Danielle Reyes to go next, even though Taylor Hale was volunteering. Danielle was eliminated, and the conflict between the two carried over all the way into their appearance on The Traitors. The hamster wheel concept was praised by fans and turned Reindeer Games into must-see TV. What could possibly go wrong with bringing the same twist onto the flagship series, one in which players are voted out instead of eliminated solely through competitions? The hamster wheel chain competition popped up on day 60 of Big Brother Season 27 as part of the White Locust twist and once again made for undeniably riveting television, but this time, the fan reaction was something else: outrage. "Oh, it was peak," says Grodner of the viewer indignation. The source of that indignation stemmed from two sources: the fact that the person eliminated was evicted without any sort of vote or veto, and that the person who was eliminated was none other than Iconica herself, fan favorite Rachel Riley. Big Brother star Morgan Pope reveals the jury question she almost asked but didn't. Grodner and Meehan spoke to Entertainment Weekly about the controversial twist, and the producers pushed back at the suggestion that Rachel was eliminated by a purely athletic competition that ignored social and strategic gameplay. "I think that's off base," says Grodner. "There absolutely was a social element to this. In Reindeer Games as well. Remember, not everyone was going to go into that wheel. So your relationships and where you stood in the hierarchy of things and your threat level and the way that you worked in those 10 minutes and jockeyed for position were key." Grodner points to how the eventual season winner approached the chain, taking a completely different tack than Rachel. "Look at Ashley. Ashley was part of that same alliance that Rachel was in, but yet no one said to put her in the wheel. Why was that? I think that the way that you worked those intervals was critical in terms of your survival during the White Locust twist. So I do think there's a social element." Meehan concurs. "It was absolutely built to be social and strategic as well as competitive." He also argues that diluting the stakes of the hamster wheel for regular Big Brother would have taken everything out of what made the competition so great to begin with. People loved it on Reindeer Games, right? It was an amazing moment. And the reason why we were like, well, it can never really live in Big Brother, is because what made it so great was the stakes. If it was the hamster wheel and it was just the nominees, it would just be another version of Big Brother. And I know people were clamoring for those higher stakes, and a lot of people really did enjoy it. The producers also point out that all the elements of a typical Big Brother week were at play in that single competition, including the first Survive the White Locust challenge that Ava Pearl won to kick everything off, even if it was in a slightly different order. "When it was originally designed, we looked at the layers of Big Brother from a social and strategic level," explains Meehan. "And if you look at a week of old-school pre-blockbuster Big Brother, you had an HOH competition that you could save yourself, and you had a veto competition that you could save yourself. And then you had the vote at the end where you could save yourself." Meehan says they then incorporated all of those elements into the White Locust twist. "So when we looked at this we're like, well, the initial challenge is kind of like an HOH, you can save yourself. But then you start to chain, and if you get sent to the hamster wheel, it's kind of like a veto, where you have the opportunity to save yourself. Now, the big difference is instead of saving yourself with a vote after, you have to save yourself with a vote before. So you have to strategically and socially figure out how you're going to play that to determine whether you're going into the wheel with enough time, or whether you're going to avoid going into the wheel." So the social and strategic element precedes it versus happening after. You still had 2 chances to save yourself, Mian notes, and you still had a social, strategic component. It just was in a different order. So in our mind, it's different, it's dramatic, but also, everyone went into that night with the same rules. Ultimately, fairness is everyone playing by the same rules, and they were all playing by the same rules. Of course, it doesn't take a genius to realize that, like the fans, the last person the producers wanted to be eliminated was their resident BB legend who had been spinning pure gold all season long. No one wanted her to leave that night, Grodner says emphatically, but for the producers, the way that Rachel did leave proves how important the social and strategic elements were to this night of mastermind mayhem. It was interesting because Rachel single-mindedly needed to get on that wheel, says Grodner. In her mind, that was the strategic move for her. Ultimately, could she have avoided it? You know, it is possible. She had other allies that could have gone up in her place. It's her own ally that put her in the wheel. Allies that took a much different approach to the situation. Ashley won the game, Mian notes. She clearly sat down saying, I do not want any part of that, and I'm going to do everything to not play. While fans and producers alike were bummed to lose Rachel, who had remarkably never touched the nomination block in 60 days, even as the season's biggest threat, the powers that be map the season out in advance and then watch it play out, regardless of who may be at risk. It feels so nice to be back. Obviously, I have gotten an overwhelming amount of love and support from everybody and I'm so incredibly thankful. Lauren Domingue said. It's been a dream of mine for a really, really long time, and to be able to go through that experience is something that I'm like forever grateful for. In the game, players are cut off from the outside world without any internet, phones or TV. Lauren said having no contact with her family was a challenge, but at the end of the day she knew she was making them proud. Making my loved ones back at home proud was my #1 priority throughout the entire time that I was there. Lauren Domingue said. It was really hard not being able to them, especially because my mom and parents are somebody I talk to literally every single day. During Lauren's homecoming, family and friends celebrate and share their experience seeing their loved one on live television and the excitement to have her home. I was just so elated to see her in person and just touch her and talk to her. But I am so incredibly proud of her game and the way that she held herself, that was true to herself. Buffy Domingue, Lauren's mother said, Domingue said discovering how her community cheered her on is heartwarming, and is overwhelmed by their continued support. So incredibly thankful for all the love and support that I've gotten. It's so overwhelming in the best way possible. I'm really happy to be able to represent Lafayette, and I hope I made everyone proud. Lauren Domingue said. In the future, Domingue hopes to move to New York with her friend and looks forward to more opportunities in the future. Dr. Will Kirby gave Big Brother 27's cast epic advice on what to do now that the season is over. Now that Big Brother 27 has finished, the reality show icon Dr. Will Kirby has given the season's cast epic advice on what to do next with their lives and careers. Throughout the summer of 2025, millions of people habitually watched episodes of Big Brother 27 on CBS. As a result, there were lots of fans who saw Vince Panaro's devastation near the end of the season, and also watched as the season's winner was crowned. Now that the season has finished, many of those viewers have been left wondering what they are going to watch next. On top of the reality show's dedicated fans watching, many former Big Brother players have also joined in the discourse around the season and the show. For example, Janelle Perzina recently told Geeksided that she likely won't compete on Big Brother again. The fact that many of the most beloved Big Brother players continue to weigh in on the series can often be delightful for the reality show's fans. One perfect example of that is the fact that it is amazing for fans to see the epic advice that the iconic Dr. Will Kirby gave to the cast of Big Brother 27 about what they should do next. Dr. Will Kirby gave the cast of Big Brother 27 epic career advice. On September 28, 2025, the finale of Big Brother 27 aired. Since Dr. Will Kirby is the single most iconic Big Brother player and winner ever, he made an epic and hilarious appearance that involved handcuffs during the season's final moments. Days after the season finale aired, Dr. Will remained as amazing as ever when he gave Big Brother 27's cast incredible advice about how to handle their lives and careers from here. In a since-deleted X post, Dr. Will imparted some wisdom about how Big Brother 27's cast could make money now that their time on the show is over, at least for now. As a part of Dr. Will's post, he advised the season's cast to make money by getting off social media so they can focus on getting a job.